Hi everybody. I'm really hoping that I've just gone live in Scent Squad and not on my private page. Go and check. Just gonna double check and see where I am at and where I am live. I think I'm in Scent Squad. Just checking. I'm live in Scent Squad. Amazing. Right, I hope everyone is good. I am here. Hopefully a few of you will jump on. I know it's like a bit of a funky time, 4:15, and we do have powwow training. Hey Lauren, we have powwow training this evening at 8:30. So I am here to plug that a little, but I'm also here to talk about are you a doer or are you a wanter? That's the topic title. Hi Lauren, I hope you're good. I can see comments, which is nice. And I'm hoping that this is gonna give you some food for thought, and it's gonna give you, because it's given me some food for thought. I want to tell you about my funk. Okay, I have been in the world's worst funk in the last week, I would probably say, but this particular last 2 days in particular. Actually, tell a lie. Monday, terrible, like literally terrible day. And then today, one thing just literally triggered me and sent me off in a spiral today. And I want to talk about that a little bit, but I don't want it to be like a negative experience for you guys, which I'm really, really keen for it not to be negative. So feel free to tag your pals. Someone just let me know in the comments, is my internet signal okay? Because it's been dipping in and out. I know that when I was live last night with some of my team, it was really playing up. Right, thanks Lauren. That's what I just needed to see, whether it was my signal. Bear with me 2 minutes. I do think there's like a bit of I'm just going to connect to my iPhone, which might mean you lose me for a second. I'm just going to hotspot. Give me a second. Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Hopefully that is better. It's showing I've got full signal. Fingers crossed that keeps me here. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about, like, are you a doer or are you a wanter? Are you somebody that shows up in these different ways? And I'm going to talk about it. But let me tell you first about my funk. So on Monday, I woke up feeling very meh. Okay, I went to the gym, did my usual routine. Didn't eat particularly well. Didn't drink lots of water. If I'm completely honest, I sort of got back from the gym, sat on my phone, I scrolled, and before I know it, I was in like this world of doom, okay? And I don't know whether it was my Facebook or what. And I had this heavy head all day. I got back from the school and I was like, I need to just shut myself in my office. I don't want to people really today. And I went and put a comfy tracksuit on and I got in my office and I just literally packed orders and I knew I had a lot to do, okay? And poor Laura Sawkins, we spoke on the phone and I didn't cry, definitely didn't cry, but I definitely wasn't right. I'd had like a bit of a visual migraine. I spoke to a couple of my team who were like, you need to rest, go and drink some water, go and have some paracetamol. Hey Karen, hey Helena. And I just felt like absolute crap. And I couldn't really get out of it. And this week, I have been in a bit of a funk. It has just kind of seeped into every single day. And I went to have my nails done and my lashes done today, which look very beautiful. I was inspired by Laura's lovely leaf nails. And we've gone with brown and some like little gold, little numbers, which I love. And I thought to myself, I just don't know what it is. I was having my nails done and I said to my nail lady, I just need to get out of this horrible mood that I'm in. I'm in this horrific mood and I don't know what's done it. I don't know why I feel like this. I don't know why I feel so rubbish, but I just need to get out of it. And I just made a decision that I was going to get out of that mood, okay? And I have been, and I'm working on it. I'm working really hard, but I'm here. I'm still showing up. I'm still doing what I do. And I know that being in this mood has set me off in like a very negative mindset. Everything towards Scentsy has just felt a little bit meh. And I felt like I was talking to Laura and she was saying positive things and I was like, meh. And I was doing this whole like, you know, and tell me below, guys. Some of you guys probably find yourself doing this sometimes, and you're like, you get to the end of the day and you think, why have I felt so crappy? And I'm going to put it down to hormones, okay? I'm going to put it down to the fact that I'm 42. I'm not any younger anymore. And my hormones are just telling me that sometimes you just need to rest. However, what it made me start to think about this afternoon was about the different types of people that we have in this business. And what I see in Scentsy a lot, not just in Scentsy, I see this in a lot of network marketing companies. I see this in businesses. You see like two different types of people that start to emerge. And sometimes that could be caused by how feelings. Sometimes this can be caused by emotions. Sometimes this can be caused by not feeling very well, a lot going on in your life at the time. Or it could just be, well, a whole multitude of things. So I want to talk about when we all say we want to be successful, and I want you to think about this from your point of view, like where do you fall in this spectrum? When I say I want to be good at something, I want to be successful at something, I want to do well at something, you tend to find two different types of people. You find people that want success. I mean, we all want success, right? How many of us? We all want, I'm just going to try and prop you up, guys, because my battery's going. I just needed to plug you in because otherwise I'm not going to be able to. We all want success, right? In Scentsy. We all want success in our lives. We want our children to be successful. We want our, families to be successful in whatever we do. And we always say, I really want to be successful at this. But in all honesty, when people ask me, what made you successful within Scentsy? It wasn't the wanting. It was more the doing. And there's just different types of people. You get your wanters. So wanters generally are people that, and I want you to think about, where do you fall in this? Wanters are people that say, I want to hit 2,000 PRV. I want to sell 72 wax bars. I want to sell 15 mystery bags. I want to sell, hey Marie, I want to give out 50 sample packs this month and find 10 new customers, okay? And then your doers are people that actually physically go and take action on that. And I'll be completely honest, right? This month, I have been becoming a wanter. And this is what's triggered this. I thought to myself, I am not being a doer right now. I am being a wanter. I am wanting 4,000 PRV. But am I doing the right amount of PRV every single day to actually hit that goal? Absolutely not. I am wanting to feel more positive. But am I taking action? Going to bed earlier, going to the gym in the morning, drinking water, looking after what I'm eating and putting in my body? Absolutely not right now. It might as well be Christmas next week with the way I've been going on. Okay? I haven't been doing that. Am I somebody, at the moment, I am being somebody that is thinking about all the Scentsy things. I'm thinking about, hey Claire, I'm thinking about, oh, I want to go and sort that order out. I want to send some follow-ups. I want to do this. I want to do that. And if we take Scentsy out of the equation, I'm also wanting to put all that washing away. I'm wanting to strip the kids' beds. I'm wanting to put another load of washing in. I'm wanting to hoover up the stairs because there's just mess all up the stairs. They look a mess. I have become, in October, a wanter. And it was like a Belisha beacon that went off when I said something today. I said to my nail lady, I just want to feel more positive. And she said to me, well, why don't you do it? And I was like, it was a bit of a light bulb. Literally, a light bulb went on. And I suddenly realised that actually, to be the doer, which I normally am, the only person that can change that is me. I am the only person that can become the doer. I am the only person that can take action daily. I am the only person that can say to myself, Lisa, snap out of this funk, snap out of this mood, stop feeling this way, ignore the feelings, override the voice. I give all of the right advice. I give all of the advice saying to people, you've just got to listen to that little voice. You've got to, what have I told some of you guys before? And what's happened in October is I've become a wanter. I have joined the wanting army and I have stopped being the doer army. And I want you to think about this. There is that word again. Are you a wanter or are you a doer? Wanters, in all honesty, they want the PRV, they want the promotion, they want the leadership, they want the recognition, they want the caveat, they want all of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that you all want. I love that you want. Like, I want to be paid at title. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to feel like they're part of a community. I want everybody to feel good and no one to feel like I've made them feel rubbish. I want everybody to feel special and like they're part of something. But am I doing the tasks to make that happen? Probably not. And I know that this goes deeper than just me, okay? And like, I'll be completely honest. I have my, hold on, let me show you. I've been talked about these before, my list, my daily lists that I do, right? And this week, let me show you this because I feel like this is me being very vulnerable and honest right now. Okay. So this is this week. Empty. Last week, different ball game going on here. Week before, different ball game right now. Okay. Week before that, oh, we're in the calendar. But if we go back into September when I started this, and you know what? When I started doing the lists, ticking off the lists, and doing the actions, I felt good about my business. That's where my motivation come from. That's what got me out of my funk. That's what got me out of the negative bubble of looking around and seeing, you know, I'll be completely honest with you. This is me being really like brutally honest. And I don't normally do this. But this stopped me looking around and thinking, well, Region 1 have got all these extra things that Sensi keep giving them. We're not getting Gilmore Girls. We're not getting gingerbread houses. It stopped me doing that because I had a focus and it was a healthy focus. And I was finding, and it wasn't like overwhelming because it wasn't so much that I was like, I can't physically do this. I'm trying to give myself too much to do. And then on that list, I would write down things like, you know, pick up the kids from school, take the kids to school, put a wash on, change the bed sheets. And I would work my way through that list. And that doer list in my diary has really made me realise how important this week where I've been in my funk. And it's not been that I didn't know what to do because I know what actions to do in my business. And most of you in here know the actions that you need to be successful. You know that success comes from different things. And I've been really hard on myself this week. I'm having conversations in my head that are like, God, my team are going to think I'm awful. I'm not showing up like I used to. I'm not going live as much. I'm not giving them PRV ideas because my brain isn't functioning like that at the moment. So if I can't think of PRV ideas, I can't give them to them. And then we put pressure on ourselves. And then what happens is we just stop. And that's where I've been right now. And I think I forgot. These are other things. I asked ChatGPT like the difference between a doer and a wanter, and it was quite interesting. So the list that he gave was wanters talk about goals, waits for motivation, overthinks, blames time and luck, and wants results fast. Honestly, vulnerability here. I have said all of those things this week. I am overthinking every situation. I have blamed the fact that I have said so many times this week, I just need more hours in the day. I just need more hours in the day. I just need more hours in the day. The realisticness of it is I don't need more hours in the day. I just need to sit down and plan out my time a little bit better and actually be a little bit more organised. And I am wanting the results too much. I am thinking about, you know, why am I not getting that PRV like yesterday? Why are people not booking parties with me? I'm doing all this training on parties and it's not happening for me. I am doing all the things that you guys do, okay? My brain has catastrophized really badly this week, really bad. And I wanted to share that with you because I wanted you to see that I flipped myself into being a wanter this week and not being a doer. So let's talk about how we can get out of that and how we can change the spectrum, how we can jump onto the doer side, okay? Because I feel like that's all been quite negative. But that's me being honest with you. I like to be honest. Every now and again, I come in here and drop a real, like, honest training. And you guys all tell me that you prefer the honest training. So here we are. So I'm going to become a doer. What's my doer going to look like? Okay, my doer is going to look very simple. My doer is going to go back to doing what I do best, which is my lists. So in a moment, when we get off here, I'm going to take my book. I'm going to take my list. Thanks, Lorraine. That's it. I'm going to flip the switch. And I'm going to go and sit on my sofa with a blanket and a fresh cup of tea. And I'm going to start working my way through my list to tick things off. And I am going to go through my list, and I am going to ignore the fact that my brain is telling me that you can't function today. And my list is telling me it's Thursday, so I should be following up with potential recruits, talking to 5 new people about joining, coaching calls and texts if people want them. I haven't done any coaching for such a long time. Honestly, I really need to pull myself out of that funk. Post about the opportunity on social stories and reach out to 5 up-and-coming leaders in my downline. So I am going to do that. But I'm also going to sit down, and if I've got time, I am going to work out if I can do Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday's list as well, if I've got enough time before we do power this evening. I'm going to the gym as well. I am going to the gym because I know that will make me feel better. So it talks that a doer builds consistency, okay? I have stopped being consistent this week. So this week I have been so sporadic. I had a day where I did all my deliveries, which was amazing. I've had some days where I'm looking at the messages on my phone and then not replying to them. It made one of my customers phone me yesterday and say to me, Lisa, I don't think my messages are going through to you. I was like, shit. It's not that her messages weren't going through to me. I just hadn't replied. And that's me being really honest. And I was really honest with her. And I said, Karen, I'm really sorry. I've had a really awful week. And it was really nice, actually, because we had a chat. She doesn't live local to me. We talked about her going to Norway. So it actually was a real positive. But I then thought to myself, how many people are feeling like Karen was and are probably thinking that, you know, Lisa's disappeared off the face of the planet. So I'm working on that. A doer tries and adjusts, okay? And at the moment, I'm in try and adjust mode because I have been in a funk. I don't feel quite myself within my health at the moment, which is down to eating. I'm telling you now, I've been eating all the wrong foods, and I know that from tomorrow, I'm actually going to order a healthy food shop tonight. I need to just get on the keto again. I know it makes me feel good, and I am going to do it. That's where I'm going to go. So then I am going to adjust, okay? I am going to ignore the fact, like a diet, that I've had bad days, and ignore the bad days and just start fresh now, right now. There is nothing, and that's the same with my eating, and that's the same with my Scentsy business. I'm literally just going to start today, okay? And I am going to take ownership. This is me taking ownership. I feel like coming on here and telling you guys I have been becoming a wanter and not a doer, and being a little bit vulnerable with you all. You're my accountability. Every single one of you watching right now, you guys are my accountability. You are helping me take ownership over the fact that I've been shit. Okay, this is me being honest, and it's me like saying, this is me being rubbish. And do you know what? Right now, I need to say it. I've said it out loud. I feel better. I feel like I've been honest. I feel like I'm at therapy right now. I'm not going to lie. This is why I go live so much, really, guys. It's therapy. I go live, and I am going to get back to doing what I do. And then the last thing it says, instead of wanting results fast, it says you play the long game. And I'm going to get back to playing the long game and remembering, get back in that bubble, and we're going to play in the long game. What really helps on a bad day is changing all my sense. Lauren, I did just that this morning. So I am now warming rhubarb berry jam in the kitchen from our world tour that we did. I've got the eucalyptus, frosted eucalyptus in my hallway, which is absolutely beautiful. And in my lounge, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in Jingle Bell Bloom because in the packet smells sensational. In my lounge, not quite as strong, but it's great. Okay, so yes, Emma, I'm having therapy session with everybody. I feel so much better. So the next thing is that ChatGPT suggested to me is that I need to be reflective. And I feel like I have been reflective on here with you guys. And if you are feeling like you are becoming a wanter, you are somebody that's saying, I want this, I want that, I want this, but you're not physically doing the actions. I want you to sit down with a pen, paper, and I want you to answer yourself a few questions. I want you to answer yourself, what do you want out of your Scentsy business? Okay, or your life. You could write down like life goals if you really wanted to. This is a bit of life coaching for you. Why? I want you to also write, where have you been a wanter in your business? What areas in your business have you been saying, I want? Okay, be completely honest with yourself. Write it down. Where's the area in your Scentsy business though you really want to see results? Write that down. And then the next question is, what is one small daily action that you can commit to this week to become a doer? So what one thing could you do every week, every day this week, so we've only got a few days left, but all the way through to the weekend, could you do to shift into doer mode? And I loved this. So for me, there's a few things that I'm going to do, and it's going to sound like a lot to you guys, but it's not. I am going to make sure that I go to the gym today and tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym. Really looking forward to the gym this afternoon. I am going to be on training powwow tonight. If any of you can make it, 8:30. The Zoom link will be coming after this live. Oh, Helena, thank you. And can we all just give Helena a whoop whoop, because she's only been back less than 10 days and she's already active, which is amazing. And I see all her orders today that she has shared with her customers, and they are beautiful. Oh, do you want me to say them again, Sarah? Right, I'll say them again. Hold on. Where have you been a wanter lately? So where in your business have you been feeling like, I'm a wanter? Where? What's the one area you want to see results? Good job I got them written down on it, because if I'd have plucked them questions out of thin air, I definitely wouldn't remember them. And then, what is one small daily action that you can commit to for the rest of this week to shift into doer mode for that one thing? So, example, I wanted, my area of want is that I wanted to do a little bit more PRV, okay, each day. Let's say I wanted to do 50 PRV a day or 30 PRV a day. And I've really been wanting it, and I've been saying, I want it. Where's the area that you want results, but you haven't been doing the actions? It might be that I want the PRV, but I don't really know what to do, or I've just froze, or I feel like I've exhausted all my avenues, or I just haven't done anything. And then it says, what could you do to commit to shifting into a doer mode? Well, you could shift into that by writing down 5 people for the next, so 5 people tomorrow, 5 people for Friday, 5 people for Saturday, 5 for Sunday. And it could be that you'll text all 5 of those people a personal message about, would they like a top up of wax? Would they like to try Scentsy? Have they ever thought about joining Scentsy? Whatever your goal is, you might just think 5 people for the next few days. And just by doing that, what that's going to do is it's going to shift your mindset into, I've done one action for my business every single day. That is very productive. Can you see where we're going with this? We are going to become doers together. I'm going to do this with you, okay? For me, I have got a list as long as my arm, so I want to get back to doing my list. That is where I have lost my mojo, I suppose, because I just have run out of time this week. And there it is. There's my excuse, okay? My excuse, I don't have the time. That's not my excuse, okay? That is not true. What is probably true is I've spent too much time scrolling. I have spent time making reels. I have spent time getting my nails done, having my lashes done. Didn't have no signal, to be fair. When I was there, I would have sent some more messages. And if I'm completely honest, I look in my office and I've just avoided. Okay, that's what I've done this week. However, what we're also going to do is look at the things that you have done well this week, because it's important, even if you're in this wanter, this funk, this lack of mojo, wherever you're feeling right now. Mine was just a real negative mindset, and I feel like I've been vile to lots of people in the last day or so, including my poor husband. I mean, he gets the brunt of it, I'm not going to lie. I want to find ways to change the momentum, and it's just going to start with one little action each day to start with, and you can build on that as you start to become consistent with that and building it every single day for the next week to 2 weeks. When you feel like I'm in a rhythm with this, then you can add another little task onto that. It might be that you want to get parties. There's that word again, that want. You want to get parties. So the next bit will be, how can we do the parties? How can we get into actually booking the parties and doing the parties? Okay. Okay. So I feel like ChatGPT's given me everything there. I took a lot, like some of the ideas from there. I think Chat was very helpful. I want you to know, this is me wrapping it up now, that it's okay to have periods in your business where you feel like this. But you've got to be able to recognise the problem. It's a bit like a drinker, a drug addict, you know, somebody that's got an eating disorder, all of those things. If you can't recognise the problem in yourself first, it's hard to fix the problem. I had an epiphany whilst I was having my nails done. And the epiphany was, Lisa, you've become a real negative Nancy and you are being a wanter. You're not being a doer. And I had a phone call. I was on the phone to my mum and I said, the problem is, Mum, there's wanters and there's doers. And I'm like, I'm literally describing myself right now. And then what happens is you get angry at the doers because the doers seem to be finding it easy, or they look like they're finding it easy. The doers seem to be bringing in all these PRV, booking out borrow bags, and you get a little bit antsy with them because you're a bit like, well, it's all right for them. That's when we get a little bit like, you know, it's all right for them, and we get a bit like that, okay? So I really want you to recognise where you're wanting in your business. And then as soon as you can make those little changes, those little habits, make those little changes, it will be all the difference for your business. And I know I keep going on about this, and some of you might think that I'm not giving you enough ideas right now to be able to run with, and enough like, oh, you know, I need more treat bag ideas or pouches or all these different things that we've done before. But the bottom line of it is, guys, most of us, including myself, are not topping up the bucket of new customers enough. And especially if you're new here, you know, and you've got to a point where you're like, I am new and I have asked all my friends and all my family. The next step is, okay, so how can we get into that next network? And some of you guys might be like at the point where you're like, next network, like where do we go from here? And I really, really do think this is an opportunity for you to reset and actually incorporate that into your wanting and your doing actions, because most of you have got into a point of the want mode because you've run out of customers to actually offer things to. So when you run out of customers to offer things to and it becomes hard, we become a little bit stagnant and we start to slow and things become difficult. And that purely is because you stopped looking for new customers. And more than likely, there's a really positive reason for that. Here's the positive me coming out. There's a really positive reason for that, because more than likely you switched your focus to recruiting, or you recruited a team member and you were helping them, you know, get involved. Or you might have had something life-changing happen, like you got a new job, or you moved house, or you know, you've gone through life changes, for example, or you're going through your perimenopause, or, you know, your health isn't that fantastic. There's always a reason, and it's not an excuse. It is a genuine reason as to why you flipped your focus off of doing that particular action. But that particular action is like, you know, like when you ride a bike, you can't physically ride a bike without the chain and without the chain going round, okay? And the chain going round in our business is new customers. Because when that chain falls off, it becomes really, really hard to ride. And it becomes really, really hard. And it doesn't matter how many pouches I give you, or treat bags I give you, or mixology ideas I give you, and I can show you 90 ways to party, all of these different things. But if your new customer chain stops, it's really, really hard. Really, really hard to keep going. And this is literally what network marketing, this is the same whether you join Beyond Beauty, whether you join Juice Plus, whether you join Arbonne, whether you join Herbalife and Summers, whatever, I don't even know what's even going anymore, but pharmacy, any of those businesses, whichever one you decide to go and do, there becomes a point that you don't have any more people to ask. You almost saturate your own market, not the market, because the market is billions of people. But you saturate your own market, and then we stop because of that saturation. And it becomes hard. And that's when our chain falls off, because we stop looking for the new people. So I know that's where I'm at with things. I know that that's when I become a wanter, when things become a little bit hard. And I think I've become a wanter lately, more so not through new customers, not looking for team members. All of those things are going really well in my business. I think my hormones are not great. And I'll be completely honest with you. I look at my Sensi workstation, and 4 years ago, I was looking at group volumes that were hitting almost, we were selling almost £1 million worth of Scentsy a month as a group. Like, we had a month where we were just shy of £1 million worth of Scentsy. And I cried like a baby that month. And when I look at the amount of people that were active and the amount of leaders that were working and the amount of directors that were sharing and the amount of team members that were sharing and giving, and they were all doers. They weren't wanting back then. They were doing. They had shifted their mindset from I want this to I'm going to do this. Okay, back then. And sadly, we have gone through a recession and a life change. Lots of people have gone back to work, which is amazing because I wouldn't have wanted everybody to stay at home. And COVID left us, and that become really that happened, and things with Scentsy have just changed, and it's become tougher. It's gone back to from where that hypergrowth was. We've gone back to where we were pre-hypergrowth, back to the normality, if you like. And where it's tough, lots of people have gone back to being wanters. They've gone back to wanting their business to grow, wanting their business to work, wanting to, overthinking all the things that they need to do, blaming the fact that they've not got enough time. And then what's happened is they've stopped working. And bit by bit, people have let their teams go. Bit by bit, people have let their PRV drop. Bit by bit, people have stopped working with their teams because we then don't know what to do with our teams because we overthink the situation. That's where I think I've been. However, today, epiphany. Really important to have an epiphany now and again. Drawn a line under the epiphany. Lisa still doesn't feel fantastic. She has a very cloudy head today. However, I am back to play the long game. I'm not going to keep banging on about this, but I am hoping that me being honest with you guys about me feeling like I've become a wanter, especially in the last few weeks, and I'm not becoming a doer, I hope that that can resonate with some of you guys, and some of you guys might feel like, actually, I feel this and I need to be a doer. I will screenshot what I found with ChatGPT because I think it was interesting, and he got where I was going with this training and gave me, and I will screenshot it and I will add it in the group so that you guys can sort of remind yourself. Maybe some of you might want to save it as an image, and then when you start to feel yourself slipping into that, I'm waiting to feel motivated, or I'm overthinking the situation, or I'm wanting the results fast and I'm not seeing the long game, I am talking about my goals but I'm not doing anything to get to my goals, all of those things, it will give you that little boost of, oh my God, I've become a wanter. That realization that you've become a wanter, because it happens to all of us, and it's a very normal human reaction in the brain. Let's just ask ChatGPT, hold on one sec, let me ask, what reaction in the brain happens? Let's do the science bit, if it can find it, to cause doer wanter mode. See if chat knows the answer to this. I am going a bit deep for ChatGPT. Excellent question. What's the science behind it? So here we go. Last bit from me. The wanter mode is about the dopamine trap. There's that word, hearing that everywhere at the minute. When we want something more like sales, rank advancement and freedom, the brain releases a small burst of dopamine, which is the anticipation chemical that feels good, and we imagine success and we talk about it and maybe we'll make a plan. But the brain rewards that thinking as if we've already done something. So we've hit that without actually physically taking the action. Over time, this creates a pattern. Think, feel good, no action, frustration. Wow. That's a pattern. That's called the wanter energy. Motivated by the idea of success, but not in possess of it. The doer mode is a little bit called the action reward loop. I learned about this when I did A-level psychology. When we act, even on something small, sending a message, posting a follow-up, the brain releases a dopamine after the action rather than before. This creates the real reward loop. Action equals progress, equals dopamine, equals motivation to act again. So when you hear that saying that motivation comes after action, very, very true. What then happens is you've got a part in the brain called the prefrontal cortex, which is the CEO of your brain. It handles planning, focus and decision making. Mine's not been working very well lately. When you're tired and stressed and overwhelmed, aka busy mum life, the amygdala, I think it's called, your emotional brain takes over and pushes you towards comfort, not challenge. That's when scrolling, overthinking and waiting for motivation happens. Doers override that by starting small. Just 5 messages, just 1 message, just post it. Once they start, the prefrontal cortex re-engages, the dopamine kicks in and the momentum will build. How incredible is that? Last little bit. Doers have learned to make action a habit, not a decision. The brain loves efficiency. So the more you repeat a small behaviour, the less willpower it takes. That's why consistency beats motivation every time. I've got goosebumps, by the way, reading this. So dopamine is released by thinking about success. Doer mode is released from doing and achieving. So it just gives you a little bit of the science behind what's actually going on between your brain. I think it's quite important. So anyway, guys, I really hope this has helped you. I am going to upload this one to YouTube, which is a little bit vulnerable because it's me talking about like me not wanting to do it. I might watch it back first and decide whether it's going to go on there. But if not, it'll be a good one just to keep for a period of time. Feel free to tag your teamies. If you've got teamies that are losing motivation, losing that action, losing them feelings, pop it in here. I think it's important for them to see that even the robot that is and does a lot of sensey feels like that on some days. And I just wanted to be brave and be honest with you all. And hopefully it resonates a little bit. Anyway. I hope you're all good, guys. Have a fab day. 8:30, powwow. Link is coming. I am going to be doing a prize. I'm just going to put this out there. There is going to be a gift voucher available. Everybody that turns up will be put into a prize draw from my team, where you can earn a voucher if you stick it out. So come along to the training. See you tonight.